Hi and welcome to this video on how to configure a Marval chatbot flow. In this video we're going to look at how to configure this flow here for select a form. So here we have some options we've configured in our chatbot, and select a form is one that we've also configured, and this gives you the option, says please select a form, and you can click on a form and it will go to a link, in this case self-service forms. So if we click on invoice payment, it will go to our invoice payment form, and our WHS incident form, we can click on that and it will go to our WHS incident form. For the purposes of the chatbot, these are just links, but I'll show you how to configure them and set them up all in the chatbot virtual agent designer. So the first thing we need to do is to load the virtual agent designer. So in our Teams integration plugin, we can click on open settings and that will open up us to the settings page. So in the settings page, the first thing we need to do is create a new card. So we're going to click on create new card and we're going to call that form selection start. So that will be where we start our form selection and where we're going to run our action from. So we'll save that, we'll double click the initial message box and we want to add form selection start to there as an option. So the label will be what the users see on self-service, select a form, or I'll say please select a form. And then we're going to select the form selection start option there. So we'll just click on the background twice and then we can see form selection start there. We'll save that and then that creates our card. We want to now create the action. So if we go to this button here, go to action editor, and then we're going to create a new action. We're going to call that form selection list, and all it's going to do is return the list of forms to select. We'll call that form select list actually. And then we'll paste in the code for that. And I'll go through the code now. So we have a return. So it's going to return an actions object for us with the 4 cards. And you'll be able to see this when we get to self-service and have a look at those cards. But essentially this is the enclosing brackets here. And we have these 4 actions. You can always add another one of these to the end. And I'll add one here just called test so you can see what that looks like. We'll put a comma. And then we'll say test form, and we'll make this just go to Google maybe. Cool. And I'll grab a Google icon to use for the icon. So we'll see how well this one works. Then we'll save the action configuration. We'll go back. And then in the form selection start, we'll add that action we just created. So that's form select list. And we'll add some text here. And we'll save that. So that completes that configuration. And now we can go into self-service. Now we'll see what that looks like. So if we click on the ellipsis here, and we've got display standard forms. In the background I did change this view because the text I put there wasn't very descriptive. So if you click on initial message, double click on that, and then display standard forms is there. Once you select it, the text is under here. Please select a form. If you double click form selection, start there. So if I click on display standard forms, it will then say please select a form, and the forms are here. Our Google one with our little icon is there. If I click on test form, that will go to Google, and the other forms will go to the self-service forms where they're linked to. So that's how to get started with a basic card and card editor and the virtual agent designer. If you would like to know more about how to set up the chatbot for Marval, navigate to chatbot.marval.cloud, and you can also view our YouTube channel with information on how to install and configure the chatbot from scratch. Thanks for watching.